Cassidy. The moment I saw you sitting across the bar, I knew there was something different about you. Normally, I have no problem saying hi to strangers, but when you looked my way, I was frozen in my tracks. You were the most beautiful person I had ever seen. Just the thought of introducing myself made me nervous. I thought I had no chance really talking to you, but then one of my not-so-sober friends caught me staring and pushed me forward, and I'd never been more thankful to be shoved into a crowd of strangers. In all of my travels from state to state, I had never met someone I was so drawn to. Every smile gave me butterflies. It was unfortunate that we didn't get to talk longer that night, but it felt like a victory just to learn your name. I was devastated by the thought of never seeing you again, even though I'd only known you for a few hours. But you had work in the morning and it was getting late, so we didn't have a choice. And that was my run-in with the most beautiful girl in the world. So imagine my shock when a few weeks later, I see you walk into the bakery I was volunteering at, still as awe-inspiring as you were that night. What were the chances that you worked here? Probably just as slim as the chance you'd recognize me, but you did. Hey, I remember you. You were the cute one with the pink hair at Old Vince. Those words are forever ingrained in my mind. You remembered who I was, and you thought it was cute. I swore I must have been dreaming, but I wasn't, and I couldn't be happier. I had never had so much fun washing cake pans, and I remember hoping we'd have more moments like these. And as luck would have it, we did. The memories I've made with you over the past 3 years of us being together, they're things I couldn't forget, even if I tried. The nights spent out in town, the days spent hitting every tourist trap we could find, the hours that have flown by laughing at stupid B-movies with you, and the times where we just weren't doing anything at all except enjoying each other's company. Those moments have stuck with me, and I'll cherish them forever. The moment that stuck with me the most, though, is when you got the cash to get your own apartment. You had been living with me for almost a year at that point, saving up money to get your own place. I had known that you living with me was temporary, but I didn't want it to be. You being with me all the time just felt right. That moment, when I was trying to figure out what my heart was saying, that's when I realized what that something was about you. The thing about you was you. Your personality, your genuine care you have for the people around you. The way you compose yourself is so welcoming and so loving. I must be the luckiest person in the world to have gotten the opportunity to meet you. Slowly, I started to understand what my heart was telling me, and soon there was no doubt about what I needed to do. That's why I asked you to stay with me, because even then, I knew there was no one I'd rather spend my life with than you.
Dem. When I noticed you staring at me from across the bar, I tried my best to hide my smile. I've had my fair share of stares before in the past, but I could tell yours wasn't like the ones I've gotten before. Your gaze had meaning to it, more so than anyone else's. I knew I was right the moment you were pushed in my direction. You were so flustered at first, it was hard for me to keep a straight face. You relaxed after a while though, and I got to properly meet the cute one with the pink hair. Even after we said goodbye, I spent the rest of the night thinking about you, not being able to shake off how unique our talk was. Back then, I could not have known it would be the first of many. I'll never forget the look in your eyes when I walked into the bakery while you were helping out. September was letting me work there part-time. She helped me out while I was getting my bearings in a new city. I was barely getting by back then. I needed all the work I could get. I don't really know what made me say what I did. I'm usually a little less forward, but I do know I meant it. Even back then, I had this urge to make you smile. I guess that says a lot, huh? The memory that stands out the most from that day was texting my sister after you had headed home. You were the first thing I told her about that day. In hindsight, the rest of the day didn't seem that important to me. The girl from the bar was at the bakery today, followed by a picture and a caption, "She's really cute." I guess that was all I needed to do for her to realize just how far I had fallen for you, so fast that I hadn't even realized it yet. From that day on, I talked to her about you almost every day, whether it was recounting whatever amazing thing you had shown me that morning, or looking for advice on how not to lose you. I was so nervous about that. But being with you soothed those nerves. Slowly but surely, your laugh never fails to make me realize just how real and amazing, and here you are. Every moment spent with you, whether it be hiking into the forest, or finding a new part of our great outdoors hidden among the trees, or blazing down the highway at 200 miles per hour in a straight race, which is something you didn't tell me about until you were already revving up the engine, by the way. When I'm with you, everything feels like it's going to be okay. You'll be embarrassed to hear this again, but I still think about it when you accidentally said, "when we get married," instead of "if," just under a year ago. I'm sure it was obvious how much it caught me off guard, but it didn't feel as weird as I would have expected it to feel. It felt right, what you said. Months passed and your slip-up was still on my mind. Was it true feelings, or was it really just a mistake? You never talked about that moment again, but something tells me you had it on your mind. And I would be lying if I said it wasn't on mine. Dem, words can't describe how much you have changed my life for the better. Before I met you, things were so much more dull and routine, and now it's hard to imagine a day going by without some kind of chaotic adventure. I don't know how I would have been able to deal with the stresses of everything going on if I hadn't had you by my side. You walked into my life and showed me the light at the end of the tunnel, and it's the same light that sparkles in your eyes. You gave me the confidence to take whatever life throws at me in stride, and you've shaped me into a person I could have never imagined, someone so much better than I could have ever hoped to be. It's because of you that I wake up every morning with a smile, feeling happy and at home by your side.
Cass, do you take Dem to be your wife?
I do.
And Dem, do you take Cass to be your wife?
I do.
By the power vested in me, I now pronounce you wife and wife. You may kiss the bride.
So while the mud reclaims our footprints, and while our bones keep looking back, the overgrowth is swallowing the path. Therefore the grace of God go we. Therefore the grace of God go we. Therefore the grace of time